Hey, what's going on, True Blazer fans? This is Tori, and I'm here with another game recap. We're going to be recapping this huge Boston Celtics win that happened on Sunday night. Now, this is going to be a short recap. I'm still feeling a little under the weather, so I'm going to be somewhat quick with this video. That means no intro. We're going to jump straight into it. As I said in one of my previous videos, it always seems like when Portland gets a 10-point lead, it's gone like that, and it's gone almost immediately. Well, in this game, it was when the Portland Trailblazers got a 20-point lead, it was gone immediately. When we got up 10, I thought about what I said in that video and how I kept making the point that we give up a 10-point lead in the first half every time we get it. So I was happy that we were able to get a 20-point lead. I was like, okay, maybe we're finally going to maintain a double-digit lead against a solid team and run away with this at home. And then Jason Tatum hit 4 straight threes in the third quarter, and that dream was over. The Celtics never led the game, but they came back and tied it late, and it would have been a very frustrating loss, given how well we were playing in the first half. Al-Farouq Aminu got clutch in the last 2.5 minutes, 2 huge threes from Chief, and he's basically my first takeaway. He was shooting very poorly to start the season, and now his 3-point percentage is back up to 36%. He's shooting over 40% from the field, so that's a little better efficiency than he had last year. Given how poorly he started off the season shooting, it's nice to finally have the Chief back. He's been on fire lately from 3, and his shooting is very valuable to our team. We were able to build this 20-point lead in the first half because our pick and roll was absolutely phenomenal to start the game. You had Damian Lillard with 6 assists before he subbed out in the first quarter, and he finished with 12, which is a season high. And a lot of those initial 6 assists came to Jusuf Nurkic on the pick and roll, where Dame was doing a masterful job of finding a window between the 2 defenders on him, finding a window between them to deliver Jusuf Nurkic the ball. Dame did a good job of using his pace to kind of manipulate the defense and keep them kind of stuck in between him and Jusuf Nurkic. Damian Lillard's such a threat on offense that it's hard to ignore him when he's coming off a pick and roll. And that resulted in Jusuf Nurkic getting many easy buckets early. Speaking of Jusuf Nurkic, I've been very impressed with his patience so far under the rim this season. You notice that when he's catching the ball, he's taking his time. He's even throwing pump fakes here and there. If you go back and watch his player analysis, this is something that I said that I wanted from him. Instead of rushing flip shots at the rim, he's taking his time, he's pump faking, getting guys out of position, then going up strong, or he's just putting his left shoulder into the defender's chest and going up with his right-handed hook, which has been better than ever so far this season. As I said, I got an ET video coming soon, but I need to make a Jusuf Nurkic video because that dude is probably the most underrated big man in the entire league right now. He's playing like an all-star level center. One negative that I've kind of talked about before, but I will keep talking about in the future, it seems like whenever we give up these runs and let teams get back into the game, it's because we're settling for a lot of bad jump shots. And maybe not even bad jump shots, just jump shots in general. We're just not getting to the rim. There was a stretch in this game where Portland shot about 11 or 12 jump shots and only had 2 layup attempts. One of those layup attempts came off a rebound off of an air ball, and one of the other layup attempts came from Zach Collins being aggressive and driving the lane. That was with the bench unit, and I got to thinking, how come we have these stretches where Zach Collins is the only guy looking to attack the rim? This dude's a 7-foot center. I know we have 2 great shooters in Curry and Stauskas, and then Turner who looks to set them up, but we have to have a little bit more dribble drive in these scenarios, especially in stretches where we're struggling to shoot. Put the pressure on the defense, collapse the defense, maybe end up with better threes than we're getting, or hopefully get fouled or get to the rim for a lay-in. This is something that I will continuously harp on because it's something that has been a problem for the past 3 or 4 years with the Portland Trailblazers. And there are games where we do a good job of attacking the rim, but there are other games where we just don't do it enough. Finally, gotta talk about Seth Curry. After the game against the Celtics, he's shooting 50% from the 3-point line. Now, he has struggled because he's only shooting around 36% from the field, but I expect his 2-point percentage to get back above 30% at least, probably get into the mid-40s by the time the season is done. This is a guy who throughout his career is shooting 49% from 2-point range, so shooting under 30% is an aberration for sure. He can't buy a mid-range shot right now, and he's a good mid-range shooter. He's a very solid finisher as well, and none of his close shots are falling either. But his shooting has been phenomenal. He was 3 for 3 from the 3-point range in that Boston Celtics game, and I'm still pretty sure that he's made a 3 in every game that he's played in so far this season. If he can just get his game inside the arc back to where it was in seasons past, then he'll be exactly what I expected one of the best sixth men in the league. Anyway, sorry for the shorter game recap. My voice still isn't feeling too well. If you watched my Monday mailbag, I talked a little bit about it. And in that video, man, my voice was struggling. Tomorrow we have the Los Angeles Lakers, and we really need to get this win, really need to build the momentum throughout this road trip. This is going to be a tough road trip, and we have to start it off fast. Keep Aminu on LeBron like they have the first two games. Aminu's done a very solid job against LeBron. And try not to let Rajon Rondo do whatever he wants this time. Hopefully we can change the narrative against him. Do a little better job of going under the pick and roll and stopping his momentum to the rim, because even when we have been going under, he's still been able to get downhill. We can't have him slicing up our defense, especially when they don't have a lot of solid shooters around him. Gotta stop the Lakers in the paint. Also, let's stop serving up JaVale McGee easy blocks, because it seems like when we've played him the last two games, we kind of just toss the ball up in front of his face and say, here you go, and he swats it like a fly out of the air. He seems to jump at a lot of shots, so I think we need to pump fake him more. I'd love to see Jusuf Nurkic get him into foul trouble by pump faking, getting JaVale McGee to jump into him and then draw on that foul, especially since Jusuf Nurkic is shooting 80% from the free throw line this year. He's much improved in that area. And then we also need to maintain our ball movement. In the last Lakers game, we were in the game until around the middle part of the third quarter, and then we stopped moving the ball. Our offense became very stagnant, we didn't look to run in transition, and it was just a lot of isolation with a lot of entry passes to sets getting cut off by the Los Angeles Lakers defense. That allowed them to get feeling good about themselves. They got some turnovers, got some fast breaks, and all of a sudden, it was a 16, 18-point lead. We can't have a stretch like that because we came back in that game. That one stretch is the reason why we lost. We can't let our offense stagnate and become like what it did in our previous loss, because we've won every game since then. We've won 5 in a row. So hopefully we can get some revenge and make it 6 against the Los Angeles Lakers tomorrow night. Anyway, true Blazer fans, I hope you guys have had a good day. That's all I got for now. This has been Tori. Peace out. Go Blazers.